I'm Ezelle from the upcoming. It's really lovely to speak to you and meet you today. So, congratulations on this fantastic series, Those About to Die. I
Thank
managed to
you.
kind of binge watch it as much as I could. So, could you, one of you or both of you, kind of tell me a little bit about what Those About to Die series is about? What can viewers expect when they step into this?
It's epic, it's action, it's a lot of stories and it's layers. It's a step into the world of ancient Rome like I've never seen before. You get to see the high level, you get to see the low level, you get to see the underbelly of Rome, how things work.
So, Mo, can you tell us a little bit about your character Kwame and the journey you go on? I mean, talking of layers to the series, I think there's quite a lot to your character as well. I mean, you've got the sort of kinship with the animals, and then these layers with your family, with your mum and your sisters. So, can you tell us a little bit about maybe what appealed to you about that and the journey that then you go on?
Firstly, it's what appealed to me is who Kwame is and where he's from. A North African animal tracker in the Roman world. I was like, okay, well, I haven't seen this before. So that's really what really excited me. But Kwame, he's a brother to two sisters and a son to a widowed mother. And when he was young, before his father passed, his father kind of gave him the schooling of what it means to be an animal tracker and how to kind of become a pro at this. And he did. He became one of the best, and he started to sell these animals to Rome because they were building the Colosseum at the time. And through that transaction, he kind of gets into a bad situation and ends up being enslaved by the Romans and taken to Rome. And he's like, what's going on here? And then he finds himself at a gladiator school, and he's just trying to fathom what's actually happening. But it's beautiful because that's where he meets Vigo and has this very unique relationship with Vigo, and Vigo kind of advises him in how to maneuver in this dark world.
Thank you. And Viggo as character, I mean, what was it about that kind of appealed to you? I mean, I know you've had, you were Olaf and the lead in Vikings, and you've done Game of Thrones. So this kind of genre probably isn't, you know, far removed from what you've done before. But what was it about this particular script and character that you thought, yes, I want to take this on board?
Well, I really liked how Vigo, he's first and foremost a father and a husband. And you see in the show, he's got his wife and his son. They are there in Rome. He's confined to his sort of cell and the grounds of the gladiator school. But his wife and son are in Rome with their own confinement. They get to see each other once or twice a month, and that's what drives him. He wants to be free and he wants to go home with his family. And I thought that was a heartbreaking sort of aspect of the tale, and within that he makes friends with Kwame. He needs to find humanity and sort of to stay alive in that situation, hoping that someday he will gain his freedom and get to go back home, which seems like a distant dream.
Obviously, preparing to play that together when you both meet at the gladiator school. I mean, that is quite a full-on action first scene that we see, and then obviously carrying on through. What's the preparation like for that, the physical element? I mean, that must have been pretty exhausting for both of you.
Yeah, it was. It was, yeah, 2 hours each session, and a lot of sessions every weekday when you're not filming for months, just working on the choreography. Then they would change the choreography, and but it's enjoyable. But yeah, definitely hard work.
I think it was more exhausting for me just be spending that much time with Johannes. I think
Also, I do remember because we have that tetherer, we're tied together, and
yeah.
one part of the choreography is me using it like as a whip to slap him.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
during rehearsals, I would just do it. I would just slap you with the tether. But you came and told me, like, can you just pretend and can we just save it for when we're filming? Because it actually hurt you. And I didn't realize. I thought it was like nothing, but it was. It was quite a slap.
I think what I really like, and I think viewers will like, is this kind of relationship as well that you develop, where you become friends, and we see two men kind of talking, confiding, and helping each other. Was that a really nice layer to this story for you guys?
Yeah, I thought that was absolutely beautiful. I thought their friendship that they form within that being slaves and gladiators, I thought that was beautiful. I absolutely fell in love with that story.
Yeah, and where it happens, I feel like it's the best part because it happens at a gladiator school where all these fighters are one day going to kill each other, to make to build a friendship there. It's like,
Yeah. There's one line that cracks me up. It's not meant to be funny, but when we're starting the fight, the Bruno, the Italian actor that plays Atticus, he orders the guards to tie us together with the tether. He says, tie them up, and then he says, medium tether. And it's just so funny to me that, like, why would, like, if it's a medium tether or a long tether, like what difference does it make? That just the emphasis on it being a medium tether, it's just so hilarious to me. I can't help but crack up.
the way he performed, because he kind of he walks right to the ears, like medium.
That's right. I'm not medium. Why medium? So yeah, it cracks me up.
I mean, the set is so epic. I mean, there's so many extras and the design of it. I mean, what was that like to be on set? Were there any kind of challenges or highlights for either of you?
I mean, it's just crazy, isn't it? The level of, you'd show up for work and like, are you guys insane? Have you really gotten all of these people together? And I mean, on certain days you'd have animals. I stepped into the studio and there was a real life giraffe in there and an elephant. But some of it is CGI, but some of it is just animals they got from the zoo.
I remember my first day on set. We were filming in this, like, it was quite dark, and there's these cages all around, and you couldn't really see what's inside them. So you'd have to walk quite close. I'm walking close. I'm like, that's two crocodiles. Okay. There's a jaguar there. There's a tiger there. There's what's in there. Let me not get too close. So it was like, it was madness, but it was fantastic. It was like one of the most best experiences I could have asked.
There's been Gladiator, Russell Crowe, and Troy and Braveheart, etc. The genre has been so well trodden and so sort of well received, actually, with audiences. But what do you think makes this so unique and appealing to viewers, which it will be?
Well, we have a lot of time to tell the stories we're telling. It's a 10-part series with every episode being close to an hour. So we really get to dive into a lot of aspects of a lot of the stories. So, I mean, so that's what we can expect from this show, is just really get into it.
Yeah, and where the kind of like the focus is. I mean, yes, there is the Colosseum being built and stuff like that, but it's also the underbelly, what happened in the underworld, with the betting tavern and the people who didn't have the riches. What was their story? And I think that's kind of where this kind of differs a little bit, and as an audience get to see it. I'm like, okay, I never knew that this was going on, because all we see is the Colosseum, but we don't see what actually goes behind it and how entertainment is kind of involved and stuff. Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of it being a series as well, actually, because you get to delve a little bit deeper into that. And what was it like being on location? Were you mostly in Italy, or did you get to go to Africa as well?
No, we filmed everything in Cinecittà, so in Rome at the time. But we had this amazing set on stage 18 with this massive LED screen where you can practically be wherever you want to be. So when we did film that the first lion scene, we're in North Africa, it kind of felt real. I was like, okay, this is, and especially with the extras and everyone, like, we're all wearing our tribal gear and got the drums and everything. I was like, oh, this is really, this is really, really.